We get into coaching because we love the game, we played it, we watch it, it's part of our lives. Yet we find ourselves chasing our tail, worrying about 1,000 different things. That's what the Heads and Volleys podcast is all about. I had a conversation with a friend recently that prompted me to explore this a little bit more, and that is around tournaments. If you play here in Northern California, we have the final weekend or the second to last weekend of every month has no game scheduled so that teams can go to tournaments. It's a big business. If you've ever ran a tournament, you've been part of a tournament, just kind of take a look around and think, well, I could see why tournaments would be given a priority. But this isn't about the argument for if we should go to tournaments or if we shouldn't go to tournaments or anything like that. This is about accepting that we are going to tournaments, either decided on by your club or by you or by the families of the players that you coach because they want to go, or it's just what you do, sleep awake tournaments, etc., etc. But my question is, why are you there? And I need you to ask that question to the people who are either making those decisions or to yourself. Why are you going to this tournament? And I think I see kind of two classifications, which is we're going to go for fun and experience. We have things like play dates here in Northern California where you go and play 3 games. It's a little bit different to a traditional tournament. But that is what I would class as a fun and training opportunity, learning opportunity to put in place what we've been practicing, see if it works. Now, we will also go to some tournaments because they're fun. Think about Halloween type tournaments. Think about tournaments that are out of town where you get to go and everybody stays at a house or hotels. That to me would be fun. Or are we going to win? Are we going down to Surf Cup and we're going to commit to 3 or 4 days of travel in San Diego for fun? That might be a little bit of a stretch, but we may be going with an expectation to win, or at least to try and win. Could it be both? Yeah, probably so, but one definitely has the priority. And you can't get down there and lose the first 2 games and say, well, we're here for fun anyway. Or you can't go for fun and win the first 2 games and then say, yeah, we're going to win this thing. We have to be able to identify why we are going, because that is going to make the rest of the experience even better. So if your club is making you go, you don't have to. You could stand up and say, we're not going to go to that tournament. Good luck with that is my kind of opinion on that. But you do have the power to say, I can't do it. We're not going to do it. But I challenge you to ask why, and not in a sarcastic, why are we doing this approach, but an approach that says, can you help me understand why we would do this? Now, not that this matters, but there are partnerships that happen between clubs. You send us 10 teams, we'll send you 10 teams, and we'll pack each other's tournaments out, which is why you may be wondering why you go to a couple of different tournaments and you end up playing against the same teams. Not that it matters. You probably still pay the listed price of $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 for the tournament, and your club probably gets a discount, but you don't know about that, and I digress here. But ask your team, why are we going? Ask your player, why are you going? And of course, asking yourself. And then non-soccer friends are really interesting. Ask your neighbor, ask one of your good friends who's not into coaching. Why are we going to this? Do you like the answer that comes out? For example, we're going to the tournament to win. We are a high-level team. We're going to go and challenge ourselves against really good opponents, and we're set up to go and win. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and let's build everything around the tournament that sets us up to go out there and do that. If it's for fun, the same question. Are you setting it up for fun? So what do I mean by setting it up? If we are going to go, for example, I coach ODP, we go to Arizona every January. It's a tournament, it's a competition, it's a showcase for our players, but we treat it as a performance environment and we go to win. So therefore, everything we do in the run-up to that, including our training, is relative to what we are doing when we are traveling out there. The informational Zoom meetings that we hold with our players and their families sets the standard. For example, they are only allowed to wear ODP gear when they travel and when they are in and around the hotel. They can bring other stuff that they can wear in their rooms, but they can only wear ODP gear out. Why? They are representing ODP, number one, but number two, they are there to be an ODP player. And what better way to keep them as ODP players than wearing their ODP gear as a constant reminder that they are part of a bigger group who are there for a greater purpose. The same thing then goes into all of our tactical preparation. This is the formation that we will play. These are the players that will have impacts within that formation, even down to here are some set piece ideas for us. Now, of course, ODP is a little bit different because we bring our players together once a month. So we don't really have too much time to work on a lot of those nuances that you may be able to do with your club team if you're training 3 or 4 times a week or even twice a week. So we give them information that's virtual so they can read it and become familiar. Part of the tactical information that we give is if you know that you are going to be playing on the 11 or the 7, for example, as the wingers in our 3-4-3 or our 4-3-3, then when you look at the material for set pieces, corners, free kicks, etc., you can identify where you should be in those moments. Does it translate to the game successfully 100% of the time? No, but it gives us a chance and it gives our players something to read on the plane, something to talk about relative to their experience for the tournament. And again, these are things that we can control. We can't control our opponent. We can't control the referees. We can't control the fields. We can't control any of that. The nerves that come when you know that regional and national team scouts are watching you. We can't control any of that. But we can set them up to say, we are going to win. We are going to compete. And here are the things that we have control over that are going to support us in that. Down to meals, down to a full schedule that says we will do this in the morning, we'll do this, we'll do an activation, we'll get to the fields an hour early, we will watch games, we will do X, Y, and Z before we compete. After we compete, we will go get food, bedtime, lights out, 10 p.m. All of these things are built around this being a performance environment. You can do this with your club teams. Don't stay at a hotel with a pool, for example. Maybe you do stay at the pool, but the pool, you can only go in it on Sunday after the last game. Or perhaps they can do a cool down or a play around for 20 minutes after the last game on Saturday. But we are there to win. We are setting the standard that says we are here to compete, we are here to win, and we're going to control things like our players not going crazy in the swimming pool, our players eating the right food so that between games you can eat this, or this, or we do a potluck lunch that everybody is contributing to that is built around better nutrition for the players than what you would typically get from the local restaurants around the fields, for example. We are setting it up to win. Now, if this sounds like a little bit too much, maybe you've got a younger team, then we need to change that focus. And that focus should be fun. So what does fun look? Well, it looks like we say, we are going to stay at a pool that's really cool for all of the families to get together. Because remember, a tournament can also be a really good team building experience. We can use the pool to have the kids play. We can have siblings become friends. We can have parents hanging out around the pool. We can have a nice big bar area or a big meeting room where we can have a big team dinner after the games on Saturday, or a lunch or a breakfast before we play on Sunday, etc., etc. We can build this really positive environment around the games and around the tournament that gives us a really good opportunity outside of what we'd have with our regular league game, which is arrive 1 hour early, we train, we warm up, we play our game. Okay, bye everybody, have a nice weekend, we'll see you at practice next week. So then that fun can still be tailored, and maybe that's where we start to then change the focus just a little bit that says, no, you can't eat junk. No, you can't stay up all night. You must still be in bed by 10 p.m., but we're still going to have fun. We're still going to have a good time. And by that, we mean the meals all together, the pool, the watching of games. Maybe there's a movie theater down the road, and after the games on Saturday, we'll go to the movies. There are lots and lots of things you can do to make this fun that then just detract from the focus of winning the next game. That will all still be layered in. The kids and the parents are still looking at the standings and, well, if we win this game, or if that team loses by 2, we'll make it to the finals on Sunday afternoon. All of these things will still happen, but the underlying focus that you will outline with your families before you go is that this is going to be fun. There is nothing worse than not controlling that environment and going away to a tournament, even if it's not a sleepaway tournament, but families giving up their weekends and everybody having a different opinion of what this tournament should be. The families will rely on you to tell them what it is going to be. They don't know that bit yet, but you need to take control of that. Hey everyone, when we go, it's going to be this. When we do this, we're going to do X, Y, and Z to really focus on it being A, all business, B, all fun. Could you do both? I think you could. Maybe at the start of the season, you could decide if you want to do fun or serious. And then, as I said, with a Halloween tournament, maybe you pick a Halloween tournament with the younger players and say, this is going to be fun for us. We're going to dress up. We're going to do a little Halloween trick-or-treat session. We're going to have a really good time because we recognize the focus for our team at this moment is about fun. When they have fun, they're going to come back. Older players, ECNL Showcase, it's probably not fun. It's about serious gameplay and showing what you can do with your players and what your players can do in front of any scouts that may be there, because that's the idea of a showcase. So set yourself up for success. Why are you going to this tournament? We've already accepted that we're going for whatever reasons, but why are you going? And then communicate and build a plan around that experience. It will make everything so much better.